Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to another magnificent springtime Sydney morning. You can probably see the sunrise there happening in the corner of the screen. It's a beautiful still day. It's mild, and I think the rain has gone away. It was raining all night, so hopefully today the skies will clear and we'll have a beautiful, beautiful day to look forward to. I guess in a month or so, the jacaranda trees down there will be filled with their beautiful lilac colour, which will add another dimension to this city precinct. And what I'll do now is I'll take some time just to take you through another book summary before I head off to work. It's just amazing that you can just hop off a train at Circular Quay train station and walk out and be presented with this most magnificent view. Probably one of the most beautiful views in the world. So without further ado, let's get into the book summary for today. And the book summary that I'll be going through is entitled Keep Showing Up. Keep Showing Up by an author named Karen Ehman. Karen Ehman. And it's a book which focuses on marriage and how to, stay married, sorry, and make the most of married life through its ups and downs and through the many, many years. I'm very fortunate to have been married now for 36 years. I'm coming up to 36 years. And I guess like everybody, there are ups and downs, there are bends. It's a meandering road. And we learn through time to make the most of it. And we'll see what we can glean from this author and her book. The first main point that the author makes in the book is a statement where she suggests here, or says, that different isn't wrong, it's different. And we're all different. So we all need to understand that, appreciate it, and embrace it in order to view marriage and married life through a different prism. So the first point that the author talks about is, of course, the topic of love. And she reminds us that love transforms over time and changes into new types and varied types of affection. And it doesn't stay stagnant, it doesn't stay the same. And it's important for all married couples and all people in long-term relationships to understand that it's not going to be the same forever, but it evolves and it gets better, I guess, is the bottom line. So hence the title of the book. We all need to keep on showing up in order to reap the rewards, to be able to harvest the fruit from that wonderful investment of time and love that we generate in our lives. The author reminds us that love is an extremely powerful sentiment, but it can't stay the same forever. And what she does is she takes us through the New Testament, where she says and suggests that the New Testament talks of 4 types of love which we need to be aware of and that we need to cater for and embrace. So in terms of the 4 types of love that the author mentions, the first one is erotic love. It's the love which is full of passion, and it's a love which fades over time. So she makes the point that the erotic love is one that fades over time. And for those who are seeking erotic love all the time, then to understand that there's always going to be somebody prettier and younger or more handsome and more powerful in every relationship. And if people are just seeking erotic love, then they're, I guess, setting themselves up for tremendous pain and tremendous challenge throughout their lives, because as we said, erotic love fades, and it's a very selfish view of relationship. It's a very selfish type of love, because erotic love is all about how the other person makes us feel. So it's all about feeling, it's all about us, and it's all about what others do in order for us to feel better. Then we progress to a second definition of love, and it's called a brotherly love or a friendship love, where people love each other at the next stage, where they gain a friendship and a respect for each other, where they love being with each other for the fruits of friendship. And it's important, but it is very conditional. So the friendship love that we experience is very conditional, just like all of our friends. We've got lots of friends, but friends don't stay friends forever, because there are certain hidden rules, there are certain conditions that we need to abide by in order to maintain that friendship. And it's important to understand that we love somebody in a friendship because they feel the same about us. But not all friends stay friends, not all feelings are mutual over a period of time. And hence the author says that, once again, we need to go through this conditional love as it's a natural sort of progression. The third type of love that the author talks about is called familial love. And it's a love that we have for our spouse, for our friend, or for somebody in our family, because we are expected to love them. Now, we've been together for so long, so to speak, and it becomes a social sort of norm or a rule that you need to love somebody because you've been together for a long period of time. Just like parents love their children, not all parents do, but you're expected to love your child regardless of their strengths, their weaknesses. And it's called a familial love. But the author here says that the familial love, just because you need to love somebody, just because you need or you're expected to be with somebody because you're married to them, is a very monotonous and a dangerous zone that we need to be aware of. And many couples, once they get to this familial level of love, find that they no longer have many things in common and are quickly or sometimes easily distracted into erotic love or brotherly love with other people, and many relationships end their time there. And the fourth type of love that the author talks about that comes from the New Testament is a thing called godly love. And it's probably the highest form of love, and it's the love where we express God's love. And it's, best defined as being unconditional love. It's the selfless love that we generate, and it's the love where we reflect God's love for each and every one of us. And it's the love where we accept ourselves we accept our partners, we accept others with all their faults, with all their chinks, with all their weaknesses. So I guess, on reflection, it's a love where you just get on with it and you just, enjoy being with your significant other, and you can be in the room and not even have to talk to feel fulfilled. And as we said, we accept them. We accept each other. They accept us. We accept ourselves with all our faults, with all our frailties. So the next formal point to come out of this book is where the author talks about the importance of understanding the 5 languages of love, because each and every one of us are unique and we show and receive love in many different ways. So it's important to be a love detective, an affection detective, and to be on the lookout for what makes yourself tick and what makes your partner tick and what makes other people in our lives tick as well, because as we said, we're all different. We express and receive love. We show affection in many different ways. And the other point that the author makes is that, we really need to try and break the routine of our daily lives and on occasion do things that we both really enjoy, just to express and to make the most of those times in our lives. And the last point that the author talks about in order to continue to show up is to understand that marriage and long-term relationships have their ups and downs, but difficulties are an opportunity in disguise. Just like in business, the most difficult customer that you have is usually the greatest opportunity you have to keep that customer, to learn from that customer and to leverage from that customer. So understand that we need to focus on the good and accept the faults, accept the downs, and not to dwell. This is an important one, not to dwell on the negatives, because after all, our life in general has its ups and downs, it's good and bad. We just need to push through those difficult times, because there are far more better times that are worth waiting for than the negative times. And to understand that you can't avoid trouble when it's knocking at the door. You just got to deal with it and just got to work through it. The other important point that the author makes, which I really enjoyed, is that we need to embrace change and to know that we're all dealing with change. We're all at different stages of growth and development in our lives. And just like we have difficult times, our partner also has a difficult time, as long as we're not creating the difficulties in their lives. But we need to embrace those changes that we're all going through. And the bottom line, as my spiritual father always tells me, is that the purpose of marriage is salvation. It's a very salvific thing, because the dual goal is to work together to get to heaven. I remember reading or listening to a vlog from a monk, a very wise monk, and the Greeks have a saying that being a monk is really, really difficult, but being married is even more difficult. And from a spiritual perspective, from a Christian perspective, there are really basically 2 roads to heaven. One is through the church, through being a monk, through being a holy person and dedicating your whole life to God as an individual, as a single person. And the other one is getting to heaven through the salvation of marriage, through having a family, through being a parent, and through carrying the cross, through the suffering, the suffrage of marriage. So there you go. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club. I think I'm going to miss this train. Actually, I'll just go and jump on it and bid farewell to Circular Quay from this magnificent location. So thank you once again for joining me in this episode, and we'll catch up and come again for another episode of Jim's 5am Club from a different location with a different message, a message of empowerment. And I'm wishing everybody a happy Thursday from this magnificent view, this Circular Quay location. Wow, where else in the world do you get to board a train and to have this vista, this magnificent view? Take care and have a great day. Bye for now.